All right, welcome to the Think Podcast with Joel
And Jacob.
Sedekase. And we are just going to do a quick family update here, a Think Institute family update. And so on a family update, I thought it'd be appropriate to bring along some family. So, Jakey, how you doing today, buddy?
Good.
Good? What's new in kid world these days?
Not much. Isn't Kid World the same world as Adult World?
Yeah, technically, that's a good point. It is. Kid World is the same world as Adult World. So I wanted to give you guys a quick update because if you've been paying attention this week, normally we put out 5 episodes a week. We've got Minute Mondays, Tuesday Twofers, Worldview Wednesdays with Pastor Rafe, Thunder Thursdays with the Sons of Thunder, my brother Parker and me, Uncle Parker to you.
I know.
And then we do Fast Fridays. But this week we didn't do anything on Monday or Tuesday. And the reason for that, the primary reason for that is something happened with our church family this past week. We had a sad death. Jerry Weiland, who was a friend and was our church's production coordinator, who I actually hired, sadly passed away. And it came by total surprise. It was an utter shock. And as a church family, we've been reeling from it. And we just had his funeral yesterday. And so I actually gave the homily, which is a short sermon, at his service. And then Pastor Dan Osborne, spoke as well and sort of officiated the funerary service. And so really, really sad time. I will say, even in our tragedy, we still got to see the Lord work. Jerry's widow, Ida, was, we got to speak a little bit, and she talked about how her faith has actually been strengthened, even in the middle of losing her husband. And it's just incredible to see how God shows himself and gives his people strength, even when we're suffering, even when we're hurting. And as a family, we've gone through our share of hardship and things like that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so...
Like with Lucas getting leukemia, then breaking his leg, then getting leukemia again, then getting leukemia again, then heart failure.
Well, he just got leukemia twice.
He did?
Mm-hmm. But...
I thought that's what I said.
Well, yeah, so... but we've seen God work in some incredible ways, haven't we? Through his people. So, this has been a very, very tough week. Now, in the church world here in Illinois and especially in Chicago, where we live, it's been really interesting. Actually, Governor Pritzker was challenged by the Supreme Court to respond to a number of churches who had challenged his restrictions on meeting. And this was actually yesterday, a few hours before his 8 o'clock deadline, he lifted the mandatory restrictions on churches meeting, which is...
You can go to church?
Well, we're allowed to go to church now.
Can we?
At least in Illinois. I haven't heard whether or not Mayor Lightfoot is lifting her restrictions. I think probably she will, since she was really relying on the backing of the governor. But that's a really good thing. So now it's really up to the elders of Park to decide what's the wisest course of action in terms of... Yeah. So what about you, buddy? Are you looking forward to going back to church?
Yeah.
How's it been for you?
It's been fun doing church at home and like other stuff at home.
Yeah? What about
Because I get to do Zoom meetings and do really cool stuff.
And you enjoy those?
Yeah.
Definitely. So Jacob, let me ask you a question. Who is God?
The Word of God.
Is there more than one true God?
No.
How many persons are in the Godhead?
3.
Who are the persons in the Godhead?
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
How much does God know?
God knows everything.
What did God make?
God made me and everything.
How did God make everything?
Out of nothing by his word.
How could God make everything from nothing?
God can do anything he wants to do.
Close.
God can do everything he wants to do.
Yes. In how many days did God make everything?
God made everything in 6 days.
And what did God do on the 7th day?
He rested and then he blessed it.
All right. So, what Jacob and I were just... By the way, awesome job, buddy. That was really good. Jacob and I were just doing catechids. And Catechids is the catechism that I wrote for Jacob when. Okay, so this is the back cover of Catechids. For those of you who are listening later, I'm holding up a book. If you're listening to just the podcast, I'm holding up my book, Catechids. And Jacob, what is Catechids?
It's questions about the Lord, the Trinity, the fall, and pretty much everything in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And you memorize 100 questions.
And what's the
and you have to practice
purpose
them.
of it?
To learn the Bible.
Yeah, exactly right.
To understand the Bible.
And how old were you when we started doing catechism with you?
3.
I think so. I think you were 3. So you're on your 3rd time through it right now. How's it been going?
With this 3rd, I thought it was only 2nd.
No, it's your 3rd.
Good.
The first time we did it, you were really little.
We are on question 98.
Yeah, we're almost done. And Jacob, would you say that this is something you enjoy?
50-50.
That's fair, but Jacob does a really, really good job. He learns his questions pretty quick, and as you can see, we learned questions 1 through 10, which we just went over. We learned those several months back, over a year ago, actually. So for the 3rd time. So he's been doing really, really well with it. The other kids have been doing really well with it. And
Even JoJo's doing really well with it.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, she is. So if you're interested in a tool that will help you disciple your kids, this is available for free on the Think Institute website. Just go to thethink.institute, or you can get it on. Here. You can get it on.
I know, but can you print it?
Print it? Yeah, you can print it from the website for free.
Cool.
Yeah. Or you can get it on Amazon for about $5. I think
Whoa, it's on Amazon.
there was a Kindle version, but apparently they were having some trouble with it, so I took that down. But again, you can get it for free on the website. So don't even mess around with the Kindle for now. I just recently revised it, so there's going to be a few changes coming out in the next edition. But there's also yes, and you can also get it in Spanish, or you can get it in Romanian. So
That's
pretty
new.
cool. Yes, if you want to know more about how to get that, send me an email at thethink.institute@gmail.com. So Jacob, what do you have going on the rest of the day, man? Did you practice?
Exactly sure.
Did you practice your piano yet?
No.
Okay, so now we know what Jacob's going to be doing the rest of the day.
Not the rest of the day. It
No,
only
for a
takes
while.
like 10, maybe half an hour.
Something like that. So that's about all we have for you. This is a little bit longer than 5 minutes, which normally are Fast Fridays.
It's actually a lot longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're right. It is. It's going to be almost double the time. But we've got double the set of case men, so that's appropriate.
That makes sense.
But if you have any, how about this? If you have any questions for Jacob, shoot me an email at thethink.institute if you want to know what it's like to be a kid in the Sedicase family, or if you want to know about his experience with catechids, or if you want to know about anything Sonic the Hedgehog related, or Mario Kart related.
I know a lot.
Jacob was teaching me about Mario Kart last night. We had a little late night video game session. But anyway, that about wraps it up for us. This is not goodbye. This is just a little pit stop along the way of your spiritual journey. Jacob, thank you for joining me today. And until next time, do you want to say the tagline? Do you know what it is? What do we always say at the end of our videos? Do you know? I hope it made you think. So until next time.
I hope it makes you think.